time for the bell. How many options will you sell? Fire up your platform, get ready to enter. But first, let's get the mindset centered. Hey, hey, let's go. We're not here to gamble, we're here to trade. We follow the plan, that's how we get paid. Testing, trading, have success. Find what works for you and forget the rest. Stats and probabilities is what we're about. Time to dismiss greed and doubt. Focus on the process, not the money. And the profits will flow like honey. Power Hour Live, let's start the show. Come on, trade hackers, get ready to go. 0-day options, time to make bank. Get locked and loaded, then be ready to plank. Hey!
Hey everyone, welcome to Power Hour Live, Wednesday, January 21st. What a move. Sounds like there's a deal being worked out with Greenland. The S&P is up 95 points. NASDAQ up 437. Russell up 45. And the Dow's up 651. NASDAQ and the Russell, the strongest, both up about 1.75%. Gold up 0.6%. Silver taking a little breather today, down about 3.5%. Notes and bonds are green. 10-year yield down exactly 1%. Oil up 0.5%. Natural gas, another big up day, almost 25% higher on the back of a 25% up day yesterday. Soybeans finished green. Wheat and corn red. Euro and the pound are both a little bit red. Bitcoin up about 0.25%. And VIX getting crushed, down 15%. Back down to 17.09. You guys can't hear. Anybody? Nobody can hear me? All right, guys, can you hear me now? Yeah, that's really weird. It's just weird how some people can, some people can't, but it's a Discord issue. Okay. I just did a quick highlight of the markets. S&P is now dipping a little bit. Indices all dipping a little bit off of their highs. S&P still up 1.3%. Russell still up 1.75%. As far as my trades today, I took 2 Elmos. One got stopped and one hit profit target. So 1 and 1 on those. My BICs, I was in store to have my worst day ever. You can see TAT shows minus 12K. I had some pretty big slippage. You can see here's a $3.30, $2.20, $4.10, and that doesn't even include this one where I had to manually close because it was beyond my stop, and so I just had a warning that stop wasn't being monitored. So my stop was at 4.16. I closed it at 16, so that's a $12 slip. So all that, I was like, oh, this is going to be my worst BIC day ever. But I held my longs and made a crazy comeback. I'm still holding 4. I'm currently up. Well, I was up as much as 6K after holding my longs and scaling out. I'm only up looks like about $1,200 now on this dip. I'm still holding 4. but went from massive red to a green day. So can't complain about that. Crazy move. If you haven't heard, sounds like there's some sort of deal with Greenland going on. The framework has been set. They're just kind of working out the details, it sounds like. And the market likes it. What else did I do? My one DTE from yesterday that I transformed, you would have thought with this massive up move that it would be in the max profit territory. But after I transformed it, we had such a big down move yesterday that it's still in minimum profit territory. I would have to get above 69.25 to hit max. Oh, I did do a Wooga too, literally right before the spike. So that thing's dead. That thing's dead unless we can get back below 68.40, 68.39-ish. But I'm not liking this dip. I was holding those remaining longs to try to squeeze a little bit more out, but looks like it may be done for now anyway. Day trades, had a green day of day trading, just two trades on the live stream this morning. One was in IWM off previous day high. That was good for about 613, and one off pre-market highs in Tesla. That was good for about 1100, so a little over 1700 on those. So all in all, pretty good day, except for that Wooga, really. So this level that S&P is pulling back to looks like that's a level that I have marked on a higher time frame. Let me see what that is. Oh, that was last Wednesday's lows. I have that marked, so we'll see if we bounce here. I'm gonna hold these four longs. I'm on the 68.85 calls and 68.90 calls. They're worth $7.50 and $5. So still getting some good value out of them. They were up. I posted in the BIC channel. They were up. They were up to $18 and $15. Now they're down to $7 and $5 just on this little dip. I didn't use my bot on the Wooga because I wanted to select my strikes, so it wasn't. I think the bot would have chosen different strikes. But you can see I post all my trades, Abash, in the trade channel. If you need me to go to the trade channel and tell you, I guess I can do that for you. $4.65. So I went slightly wider by like a strike or two. So I'm on the 20 put 35 call. So there's 15 between the strikes and then 10 wide wings. So, I mean, I was kind of chatting with Elliot about this. Like, to me, I just, for my BICs, the way that I manage them is I always have the stop on just the shorts only. It is not as automated as if you just, had it all on the full iron Condor, but I mean, I had a day last year where I made $40,000 on the puts. Today I had a day where I went from negative 12,000 to positive 6,000. So I mean, the way that I manage them is just like, I use obviously Interactive Brokers and Trade Automation Toolbox for my BICs. It's a separate account. That's all I trade in it. And so anytime I hear my IB platform take a fill, or every time I get a stop, I just check it. The vast majority of the time, I just close the longs out. Or, the good thing about TAT is it will reuse the longs. So, if they're worth 5 or 10 or 15 cents, I'll just leave them because the next tranche will pick those up and reuse them. And then, every once in a while you get a gift like this where you get smoked on the shorts, but it's such an extended move, such an outsized move that those longs print. Now, I don't think I've ever had calls print like this, but I don't know. To me, it's worth it to have the stop on the shorts for things like this. And then, on normal days when I'm just closing them out, I mean, I might lose a nickel more here or there. Sometimes I gain a nickel, dime, 15 cents here or there. So I think it all kind of washes out. So I don't think you're kind of losing much over time unless you just ignore them and they just expire worthless. Then you would have been better off having them close with the full iron condor or the full vertical. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of stopping the shorts only. With Trade Steward or Schwab, same with IB. TAT just manages it enters the verticals, and then, once they get stopped out, I have to go onto the IB platform and close the calls out manually. So same thing with Trade Steward and Schwab is you get stopped on the shorts. You just, as far as Trade Steward's concerned, that trade's done. So you just go into toss and close the longs. Unless I just do it differently on my Elmos, here, let me bring it on the screen here. Here's my Elmo that got stopped out. You can see when it goes trade closed, and it only has the red X on my shorts because I only have the stop on my shorts. So those longs that don't have the little red X next to them, I don't know why this is showing up here. So these strikes are the longs that don't have the little red X next to them. So I know I have to go in and close those out manually. I can't. There is no red X for me to close those after my shorts get stopped out. At least the way that I have my Elmo set up. Maybe there's a. And so Trade Steward showing this is a minus 906 loss, but I made some money. I closed out the puts for minimal, and then I was still holding those longs. I closed those out, so it ended up being like a minus 680 loss instead of a minus 906. So I don't know. Maybe there's a different setting in the bots where you set it up where you can still close it via. But you're one thing you mentioned, Elliot, is it'd be a pain to kind of figure out which longs. But remember, if you get stopped out, it still has the longs listed on here, so you can easily just go to your toss and close, see which ones are remaining from Trade Steward and just close those out on toss. That is true. That is a downside. The Trade Steward statistics and all that P&L that it tracks so nicely, that will not happen. I have the same issue with TAT, right? I can't use the reporting in TAT, which has some cool, pretty good reporting, but it's pretty irrelevant too because it does not take into account my long. So yeah, that would be a downside. S&P Nasdaq still dipping, coming back down towards previous day high. Well, now my Bics are back in the red for the day because I held these 4 calls too long. They're only, oh my God, they were at $20. Now they're at $2. I got rid of most of them, but man, these lost a lot on this dip. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what setting you have it on to do that. Like on my Elmo, for example. I have, on my exit, I have trade stop based on a percent, for example. PDQ, net position stop shorts. So I'm not sure what you have selected there on your Bix. You have lightning each short. Okay. So that's the difference. Yeah, so that's the other risk, right? We saw that last year when we had that crazy vol spikes, right? That's the other, that would be the other negative of doing the shorts only. You know, you could have a busted trade and not know it until after the fact. So it's the risk you take. I'm willing to take that risk. If you're not, then you shouldn't do it. As traders, we always need to decide what risk we are comfortable with and what risk we are not. Bitcoin trying to bounce. Another big day in SNDK. It's up another 10% today. What a beast. Tesla is up 3%. Oh, the other thing I did today was I'll go to my wheel portfolio. So, okay, let's just go down the line. Robinhood's up 0.75% today. It's still down a little bit on the overall trade. Bitcoin, I rolled those calls. They're about pretty close to where we rolled those. Nebius is down about 0.75%. And those calls, if Nebius goes down too much more, we'll be rolling those calls down. That position is still green overall. So I added Netflix today. I posted in the wheel channel. I was kind of planning to add Intel, but it shot up. It was up like 10% today. Yeah, it's up almost 11%. So didn't really want to sell puts after such a big jump. But so I went in Netflix. Netflix had earnings. It's up a little bit since I put it on this morning. Rivian's up 1.3%, but those puts are in the money. Rivian's been on a little bit of a downside slide. Silver, obviously we know silver's been up a ton. It's down a couple percent today. So the current puts that I'm in are a little bit red from where I put them on, from where I rolled. And then UNG with that big natural gas move. 3 days ago, UNG was at $10, and we had the 11 puts, and they were way deep in the money. Then we had back-to-back monster days up, and ended up having to roll my puts up today because we were in the profit. They were over 50%. So crazy move in Natty Gas. But I added the Netflix. My plan was to only have 6 positions, but based on the size of the stocks that I was trading, because I was staying under 15,000 per position, under 15%. I was sitting on like 26% cash, so figured I'd do one more. I still have 11% cash in the account, so 7 is probably the number, 6 or 7. S&P bouncing off previous day high. God, it's so hard to time those longs though when you get a big move. Like, it's just like, oh, do I sell them here, or they could go from 20 to 40? It's just such a hard thing to do. Now they went from, the only thing you can really do is scale out, which I did. I did pretty good, except man, it's tough to see those go from $20 down to 3 now. So we'll see if this thing is done or not. Not any earnings that I'm interested in. We did do the Netflix fly. Yesterday in Power Hour, I did a bullish fly, and Netflix went down. So it was down like 7.5%. Netflix is only down 2.5% now, but gonna need a lot more between now and Friday for that one to be profitable. We need it up to about 92. It's currently at 85. Probably not going to happen. Yeah, what's a good one? Like SGov, Bill? Is Bill the best one? Well, I talked about it whenever the market was going down the last couple of days. I was like, man, and maybe it was on the day trading live stream, but I was like, man, this just really smells like a buy the dip opportunity. Like, I mean, I didn't really do anything about it. I definitely had kind of a bullish bias, but there it was. The old taco trade. Not really a taco trade. He didn't chicken out, but SGWXX. Geez, Dark Avenger. You like your money market funds, huh? Bill does not pay the highest interest rate, but it does not dip in cash of market in case of a market crash. Is that what you meant? Okay, maybe I'll buy a little Bill, little Billy. So we got 18 minutes. Get a 5 wide Elmo. Moel, you Elmoing? Brandon SNSXX, is that super liquid? No issue getting in and out? Scooby, what ticker are you using? Oh, gotcha. All right, we got 7 minutes till MOC. SPX is at about 68, almost at 68.80. These butterflies are going to be cheap, so I'm not going to be doing a scalp. I'll wait to see if I can get a late $2 fill. Yeah, they're under $1, maybe 80 cents. Man, this little dip is killing me. Those calls went from deep in the money, now they're out of the money. Just couldn't let them go. Tesla still dipping, Microsoft dipping, Apple dipping. SMCI dipping. Yeah, Scooby. So how do you buy those? I've looked into this before, but you gotta contact Schwab and then you fill out an application. It's not just as, you don't just buy them on toss, do you? Seemed like it ended up being too much of a pain for me, so I just didn't do it. I just remember that. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I thought that was. Okay, so you can just go to the Schwab.com website and do it there? Okay. So you go to trade. And then what? Oh, bonds? Okay, there we go. Cool. Thank you, guys. All right, 2.5 minutes till MOC. Turn on my noise. Yeah, so no Mahomes Scout, but I may try to get into a late one here, depending on when I can get filled. The 80 fly still trading for less than $1. I guess I'm going to ride these remaining calls in my BICs into the ground here. I'll hold through MOC. See if we happen to pop up.
One minute remaining for the market on close imbalance.
All right, about 15 seconds.
10 seconds. Market on close imbalance. S&P 500 sell side 838 million, Nasdaq 100 sell side 1.2 billion, Dow 30 sell side 312 million, Mag 7 sell side 708 million.
About 800 million sell side. 75 butterfly trading for about $1.30. Maybe more than that. S&P still dipping. Down to 70. VIX staying above 17. Back up to 75. $75 fly still looks like it's around $1.50-ish or less. So no orders in yet. With all this movement, it's going to be a late fill. Got about 6.5 minutes. All right, I'm going to put in an order at the 75 fly. For $2. I'm also going to put one on the 80s. For $2. About 4.5 minutes. It's kind of right in between strikes. If it gets close to a strike, it should fill at $2. Now we're down to 4 minutes. Filled on the 75, so canceling the 80s. SPX down to 72. Cannot believe I let all 4 of those calls go down to 0. Less than 3 minutes, SPX at 73. I need below 72, below 70 for max on Mahomes. Approaching 2 minutes, SPX still at 72. Bounce back up to 75. "90 seconds, need a move away from 75. One minute. Let's see what you got, Mahomes. I know you got a bum knee right now, but I need you to move. $76. $77. Need above 78 to win, above 80 to hit max. $10 seconds. Ooh, not a good move.
Order cancelled. Order cancelled.
Ugly close for Mahomes. 6875.63. 6875.63. Near pin. Could not. All that movement today. Couldn't move 5 points at the end of the day. How about that? All right, all. That is a wrap. We will be back tomorrow. I'll be live streaming at the Open for day trading. Be back for Power Hour. Everybody have a good night. Talk to you soon. Cheers.